Remember, always perform CPR at a rate of over 100 beats per minute. Activate the emergency response system and give me an AED. Welcome everyone to Ready Steady Charge. My name is Solomon, and today we are going to talk about camping in an electric vehicle, specifically camping in the Hyundai Kona EV. So I will talk about some general information about what it's like to camp in an electric vehicle, and I will also do some demonstrations with my vehicle to show you how to get the Hyundai Kona EV prepared for camping. Now, what are the benefits of camping in your vehicle, just in general? Well, part of it is you don't have to set up a tent. Now, those of you who have ever set up a tent knows that it's kind of a long process. Compared to something like a hotel room, of course, as long as you have your vehicle and it's parked in a spot that lets you camp, you don't have to pay anything extra to stay overnight. And what are the benefits of camping inside an electric vehicle? Well, to start, the climate control can be run independent of the motor. So you don't have to run anything else to run the climate control. And the vehicle will only take as much energy as it needs to keep your vehicle cool or to keep it warm. Now, before you camp in your electric vehicle, there should be some planning being done. Primarily, just to know if you have enough room in your vehicle for you to comfortably sleep in. One of these things is how tall you are versus how much room there is in the vehicle. Because you have to measure inside your vehicle how much room you can get and compare that to your height. And then lie down and try and see if you're comfortable there. Because for someone who is really tall but has a shorter vehicle, it might not be possible for someone to lie down flat, even with all the seats down and with all the seats as forward as possible. With the Hyundai Kona EV, with the front seats pushed all the way forward, and with the back seats folded down, it's just enough for me to lie down flat. And I am 176 centimeters, and that's 5'9". So if you have a Hyundai Kona EV and you're significantly taller than 5'9", chances are you can't lie down flat. It is possible for you to still sleep sitting upright, but that's really not as comfortable compared to being able to sleep lying down. There is another option to get a bit more room out of your vehicle, which is sleeping diagonally. That will give you a bit more length to work with and give you a bit more room so that you have a better chance of lying down flat if you're a person that's quite tall. The second thing you have to consider is, well, how much stuff am I bringing with me? Normally when you're driving, everything goes in the back. But if you're camping and you're sleeping, then you need to move everything to the front. So if you're carrying too many things and they can't all fit on the front, then you don't have a lot of choice. You either have to not sleep in the back, which is not so comfortable, or you have to leave some items outside of your vehicle, which is not safe. So I would say the best situation is to have an amount of items that can be fit into the front while you're sleeping in the back. Okay, well, enough talking. Let me show you how I would prepare the Hyundai Kona EV for camping. The first thing I usually do after I arrive at a spot for camping is to see if I can plug in. You don't necessarily need a charging station to plug in, you just need to find a powered outlet. And then you can plug your vehicle in for level 1 charging. That way you can get some juice into the battery while you're using some energy to keep climate control working. So the next thing I like to do is to put my vehicle into utility mode. It's always very important for me to turn the vehicle to utility mode while camping, because that ensures the climate control will take energy from the main battery and not drain my 12-volt battery. In fact, Tesla vehicles have a mode called camp mode, So it's very similar. And something I need to mention is not all electric vehicles have a camp mode or a utility mode. A lot of them do. So if you have an electric vehicle, just find out if this mode is available, and if not, what other things you can do to ensure that the climate control is using energy from your main battery before you start camping. The next step is to move the front row seats forward as much as you can, and then fold the front row seats down as much as you can to give yourself a lot of room. And then next step is to fold down the second row seats to give yourself a flat surface to sleep on. Now notice that there is a big gap in between the first and second row seats, and this is actually a good space for you to store extra items that you've taken out of the back. In fact, if you have a mattress on top of here, and you have some items in that gap, it will support the mattress a lot better than if you just leave a giant gap there. The next step is for you to lay out the sleeping equipment. So some kind of a mattress to cushion your body against the back of the vehicle. Now this surface is extremely hard and it's not comfortable to sleep on. So I have an air mattress, and this is what I use when I camp in the Hyundai Kona EV. And the other choice is a memory foam mattress. I will demonstrate how to inflate my air mattress. As you can see, we had to perform CPR on the air mattress to inflate it. Now, if you have a electric pump, you can put it here, and that will inflate it as well. I don't have one, so I just rely on doing CPR to inflate this thing. Once you have the mattress ready, it's time to climb in. So I typically use a sleeping bag so that it's easy to keep myself warm, and it's easy to pack away, and it's very portable. The easiest way to climb in is actually through the side. I actually did try climbing through the hatch. It doesn't work very well, and it's not very convenient. So let me show you how to get in through the side. Once you're in and you're settled down, I think it's time to set the climate control. Now, the Hyundai Kona EV is one of those vehicles where you can still reach your climate control when you're sleeping in the back. I tend to keep it at a comfortable temperature and then just turn it on to auto. And the fan speed doesn't have to be very fast for it to get all the way to the back. And once the climate control is set up, well, it's time for a good night's sleep. There are a couple of things I want to talk to you about that can make your stay inside the vehicle a lot more comfortable. And a lot of these apply to internal combustion engine vehicles as well. So one of the most important things to get a good night's sleep is lightproofing and soundproofing. Lightproofing can be done in two ways. One way is to cover all the windows with something, either sunshades or even items of clothing. The other way to do it is a sleeping mask, but I think for a lot of people, sleeping masks are not as comfortable. Now, soundproofing, needless to say, is also very important, and I can tell you something from personal experience. Last summer, I did a trip where I camped in a field. So at the time, I failed to take into account that there's actually a train station right next to field. And I forgot how loud trains are, and I should have known better. So the noise from the train actually prevented me from getting as good of a sleep as I wanted. So things like earplugs can help. If you have noise-canceling headphones, you can use those. But in general, I think the best thing to do is find a spot where it's actually just quiet to begin with, so you don't have to resort to something in your ear to block out the sound. I want to say a few more things about the settings for climate control. I think it's really important to use the auto mode, so the vehicle can change between cooling and heating, and sometimes even fan speed to maintain a constant temperature inside the cabin. And something else that's very important is locking your vehicle. Before you lie down and go to sleep, just make sure your vehicle is locked so that no one else can get in, and that includes wild animals. The last thing I want to talk to you about is mattress selection. There are two choices here. So one is the air mattress, which is what I demonstrated with, and the other is the memory foam mattress. Both of these have their benefits and their downsides. So for a air mattress, it's very space saving, so it's very small when it's deflated. However, the downside of air mattress is, well, if it starts leaking in the middle of the night, it's a real pain to try to deal with that. And it's not comfortable to sleep on a deflated air mattress. The memory foam mattress, it takes more room. You can roll it up, but of course you can't make it as small as an air mattress. However, it doesn't have the problem with deflation. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned a thing or two about camping inside your electric vehicle. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more electric vehicle content. And I am Solomon. As always, see you on the next one.